5. I'm going to start. I'm going to talk really briefly about a subject that was on my heart today. It is so ironic that in deciding to actually talk about this conversation, I literally dropped my phone and broke the screen. However, I just actually left a church service. It was not planned. However, I'm going to go ahead and move forward with actually doing what I feel as though I am called and chosen to do, which is to equip and empower women. And so I definitely want to be honest. I definitely want to be transparent. I definitely want to use this platform to help other women. So I am, just doing what I feel as though I need to do in order to empower other women. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So my name is Patricia Tomlinson, as most of you know, and I'm a motivational speaker as well as author for women that have been impacted by all forms of abuse, molestation, and trauma. So today, it was a couple things that actually took place that inspired me to do this particular broadcast. Good evening. And so just bear with me because I'm trying to get a sequence as to how I'm going to discuss the material, but it is going to require me to be completely transparent, which is something that I'm not foreign to. However, it's on a whole nother level because I need to actually get this out for myself as well as for other women. I put a post in that said that transparency is the key to healing. And so there's a story that I have been sitting on, not so much as silently, but I've talked about it, just not in the magnitude that I know that the Lord would have me to talk about it, just for discretionary purposes, trying to maintain peace. And so I have not fully talked about everything that I'm going to talk about today. However, the subject title for this particular broadcast is going to be Women Who Prey on Other Women. So most of you know that I did go through a time of homelessness, and it was about 8 years. However, the reason why I became homeless was because I was working a job. The Lord gave me a vision, and I launched out during the vision to actually start it. I wrote the book, and then the book led me on this journey. And I stayed with one of my friends, and she had a lot of issues going on. She saw her father actually murder her mother. And so as she grew up, of course, she has some issues. Women that have a hard time with things that have happened in their childhood, such as molestation and rape, have a lot of times a propensity to be very controlling and domineering and manipulative because when your innocence is taken or stripped from you, you feel as though you have to navigate or do things in order to get what you want. And so this is how I started. I left everything and I just stretched out on this vision that the Lord showed me. And in the beginning, I didn't understand anything of what he was telling me to do. I just was like, okay, Lord, you showed me this, let's go. And so it started, I stayed in about 70 or 80 homes. And the whole time it was that I did not have a home, but I was transient. So I was going from home to home to home and place to place. In those places, some of the women, and I will keep their names anonymous for purposes of discretion. However, the truth is the truth. I don't feel like I have to tell a person's name to demean them or degrade them. However, the truth is the truth. When I was given the opportunity to go into these homes, a lot of these women had known outright that I was an author, that the Lord had given me a mission and a ministry to do for him. And so when I moved in, they're like, hey, I understand that the Lord has birthed something in you. I want to help you. So how can I help you? I know you're going through it in this home. You can come and stay with me. Upon getting in those homes, these women brought me in under false pretense. A lot of times they were like, okay, we know the Lord doesn't want you to work. And I was always honest and I was always truthful about that portion of my journey. And I would tell them, he doesn't want me to work. However, he will always bring some type of form of increase to their home. Along with that, he would make it to where I was able to do things to increase their home or bring more peace to their home, whether it was cooking or cleaning or taking care of children. However, many of the women bought me in with false pretenses. And because they did, they ended up either taking advantage, using me, or bringing false accusation, telling my personal business, betraying me to other people, which made the people that I was either there to affect or help have a negative view of me and my life. Sometimes this resulted in debates about what the Lord was telling me to do, false accusations of you're crazy, the Lord wouldn't tell someone to quit their job, and all this other stuff. But at the beginning, when everything started, they would say, I know the Lord sent me to you. I know the Lord wants me to help you. I pray and the Lord sent you. And so in those houses, I did a video today on Instagram and I said it was not my fault. The reason why I stayed homeless for so long, it was because every time I went to one of these houses, they would lie, they would use me, different in various different types of ways, and it will result in my heart being broken. And once my heart was broken, it says, guard your heart because out of it flows the issues of life. It became very hard and difficult for me to get myself together. Does anybody understand what it feels like to try and operate on a broken heart? Okay, so you're in a relationship with a man and he breaks your heart. You know that next day you don't want to go to work. That next day you may not want to get out of bed. So just imagine a woman that comes into your house, your life with false pretenses of knowing that your mother and your father and your family is not present, all with the intentions of saying they want to help, but in the end they cause more damage. A lot of the women that I stayed with, the Lord revealed a lot of what was going on with me in the house. Basically, what they were doing behind the scenes. They did not think that I knew or understand what they were doing, but the Lord was dealing with me the entire time that I was staying there. And He kept telling me, love on them and pray for them and do good to those that do wrong to you and love on those that persecute you. That was the hardest part because at the time I said, Lord, I have to do right by someone that's deliberately lying on me. I have to do right and speak peace and love to someone that does not love me, that does not want the best for me. And He told me yes. It was the most heartbreaking experience that I ever could have endured, especially because all these women that were in my life that were older than me and were supposed to be like a spiritual mother knew outright that I had issues and problems in my own personal family and household. So you have to think, I was 23 when I started my journey. My journey just ended just this year in June. I'm 32. That was close to 9 to 10 years that I stayed living in the house with about 80 different houses. I've stayed in a battered women's shelter, a homeless shelter, only to get with these women and have them try to exploit me. Most of them thought because I looked very young that I was naive. They thought that I hadn't been in Christ as long as I had, so they didn't understand that I knew what they were doing. Most of them thought that just because I stayed with them and I was an author, that this book was going to come up overnight. So what they did was they bought me in like, oh, let's help her. And then when she makes it, she'll remember us and either give us money or give us substance, or it would just be a free pass for them to basically have a come up. And so in my journey of homelessness, and it's so amazing about it because I spent so many nights crying about the time that I actually spent living with these women. And I just questioned, how could someone hurt someone like me in the state that I was in? Homeless. I'm carrying my bags with me. I'm traveling from city to city. I'm talking about, I've been to Columbus. I've been to California. I've lived in Atlanta. And majority of the women, when I found out what they were doing, the Lord would have me stop what I was working on. He would have me deliberately stop. And so it was more to the point, the whole time that you guys have seen me on social media, up until this point, I have never posted the entirety of my journey of what I endured in those houses. I never wanted to degrade or demean a person. Also, majority of the time, I would try to motivate myself or keep what was going on positive because I needed someone to uplift me. And at the time, it was only the Lord that was doing it. Do not get me wrong. There were people that called me, that prayed for me. But when everything really got rough, a lot of people would disappear. And I'm not saying that it was their responsibility to make sure I was okay and I was grown. And it was that I find it really weird and funny that we live in a day and time that when women need help, other women and or people, my experience was a lot with the women, take it to find their weakness to prey on them. I'm going to address the situation that I'm going through even at this time. I had some events. I had a woman come to my event and she acted very rude. And it was amazing because my response was no response, but other people were able to see how she treated me. And it's been going on for weeks. And so today I said, I'm not wrong for telling you that there are different things I'm not going to discuss with you because this is how you're finding your entry point. A lot of people that know me, they know and understand that I don't have a strong relationship with my family. Okay, and that's fine. I don't say that for pity. I say that because God has given me power as a young woman in Christ to walk over and tread on anything that tries to come and stop what He's doing in my life. So I don't use it for pity. It's really power because I don't have a lot of people there. God takes it to be my personal defense. And I love Him for that. This is why I've grown so close. So for those 8 years, I stayed in close to 80 homes. I've slept in a 24-hour Starbucks. I've slept in a bathroom. I've slept in a car before. There has been times I've slept in a hotel and not know where I was going to go or what was going to happen to me. And women that were, I'm your mother. I look at you like a daughter. I'm going to help you. Is there anything that I need? Took it upon themselves to exploit me in possibly the worst time of my life. My heart really goes out to people that are homeless, that really need places to stay. And when they go and stay with somebody, they make them clean excessively. They make them watch their children. They make them do things that they're not even doing, simply to usurp authority over them because they need help. No one understands the mind of a homeless person more than someone that has been homeless. When you are homeless, you can't think straight. You're in survival mode. You're thinking about what you're going to eat, where you're going to lay your head. And sometimes you just need a place to go and rest. And unfortunately for me, a lot of times I didn't get any rest. And so it kept me transient for years. And it's amazing because in the word of God, He says that He'll bring you through and out of Egypt. That was my bondage. Even though I came out of Egypt, there was still a wilderness. So there are women even now to this day that are still trying to exploit me or use me for their own personal come up or financial gain. And it saddens me. You know why? Why I decided to do this broadcast is because I'm not the only one that is experiencing this. I know several women that don't have a mother or a father in their life. Unfortunately, either they were killed, murdered, or they died, or something of that instance, not trying to tell all their business. And they have been deliberately demeaned, degraded, and just treated as nothing by women that says that they have love for other women and that they have women's ministries. Now, this is not to bring any downpour on the church. I love the Lord. The Lord is my life. But as women, this has to stop. We have to stop being jealous and envious of another woman because her hair is longer, or you feel like her body is nicer, or you feel like men like her, or you can't get a date. And this is just a portion of what I go through. I am not high and lofty or prideful in regards to the way that I look. I had a situation that happened to me today. The lady walked through the door. She said hi. And immediately when she looked at me, she just was like taken back. And it made her treat me differently. I've gone to interviews and women were like, oh, you're pretty. But the whole thing about it is that I'm standing and I think they're beautiful too. The whole issue with women nowadays is that they don't think they're beautiful or that they're pretty. And so whatever insecurities, issues that they have, they usually attack another person. And in my instance, and in my case, unfortunately, I stayed with a lot of the women. Case in point, you would never know who it is because even on social media, I still say hi, I still talk to them. More importantly, I still pray for them and I still love on them. Because hurt people do hurt people. I would never wish on the women what happened to me. Never. But I also understand I have a formidable enemy that wants to kill, steal, and destroy. So if he uses a woman to break me, a woman that's supposed to be nurturing and loving, that will affect me because then I won't want to be nurturing and loving. How many of us have been treated so bad by women? Some of us by our own mothers. And for some reason, I just continuously see stuff about mothers that have beat their daughters, or mothers that have lied on their daughters, or forsaken them for a man. You know, your first female relationship or best friend comes from a woman. So just imagine how, when your relationship with your mother is in chaos or is dysfunctional, when you get out in the world, how that affects you. And so for me, it is really actually freeing to finally be able to tell the truth. And it is because I am finally in my own place. The Lord has restored me in regards to my substance, as far as what He's given me in my home. I don't want for anything. Of course, I'm still in a phase of decorating, but I don't want for anything. And it freed me to be able to talk about this video, because I don't have to ask anybody for anything, because He supplies all my needs. He was already doing it. But he absolutely and actually showed me a lot about women. And it was hurtful. I was somewhere today and I had a woman treating me very, very harshly and very rude. And I sat there, I cried. I did not cry because she was mean to me. I cried because where's the answer to all this foolishness and chaos? Whereas where men degrade women and treat them so wrong, and we can't even branch together as a sisterhood to lift each other up and love on each other. That's where my tears came from. So it is my mission to not be or do to other women what has been done to me. Now, the truth is the truth. We can talk about the truth all day. But the fact of the matter is, so many of us are hurt and broken and feel like we don't really connect with other women, because we don't sometimes. You know, you may have a best friend and you really don't want to tell your business because you know she talks too much. You know, I do so good with strangers and people that I've never met. It's amazing to me how I can meet a stranger on the street and they will literally tell me all of their business, because they feel comfortable that it's somebody that doesn't know them, that's not going to judge them or treat them contrary and give them some type of inspiration or hope. So let me get to the real word that I wanted to use today. This title is called Women That Exploit Other Women, but it's really women that pimp out other women. And what I mean by that is, you have human trafficking, you have sex trafficking, you have so many things that people use to demean the human race. But we never talk about how women exploit and pimp out other women. Women that have children, and I've experienced this a lot because I don't have children. And they expect me to give my life to them to watch their children because they want to go out and live their life and want to leave their kids with me. And then when it comes out to be, no, we're not friends anymore and we don't talk anymore. Women that want to sit on the phone and talk about miserable things, but when it comes to talking about prayer or serving the Lord or doing something with purpose, they don't want to talk anymore. Misery loves company. Women that exploit other women, you know you don't really like her, but you want to be around her. I have that happen to me a lot. There are so many women that don't care for me or like me. And it's not because I'm doing anything wrong. It's actually because of the things that I'm doing right. Sad part and case in point is, when you are broken and you had a broken relationship with your mother, sometimes the main thing that the enemy will use to try and tear you down is women. I love women because I am a woman. I have no hatred against anybody. I have forgiven all of them. But the truth is the truth. Somewhere in society, they have taught us that being catty and, excuse me, ratchet and, you know, yelling at each other and throwing shade and checking people and serving tea is what's in right now. But if we break our women, literally, if we break our women, how is that going to help other women? Women are loving and they're nurturing. What happens to if all the nurturers are hurt and broken? That's something to think about, because that means children that need to be loved on and hugged on, and you know, maybe they can't get it from their mom, but they need it from us, can't get it because we're bitter, upset, and nasty and rude and mean and ratchet. So this conversation, it's a moment of truth. It's definitely a moment of enlightening to me. I'm not going to be or do what happened to me, I'm going to be better. So I'm making a vow today to upgrade myself and my capacity of how I treat other women. Because, I'm not perfect and I am guilty of some things. But there are some things that I definitely am willing to change and transform. And it's my mind in regards to how I see another woman. And so I wanted to get on here and be blatantly honest because authenticity is definitely a key to everything that I do. I'm not going to be something that I'm not, and I'm not going to pretend to be something that I'm not. Was I hurt? Absolutely. Did I get over it? Absolutely. Have I grown? Absolutely. Does it make me mad sometimes? Of course. Of course. But at the end of the day, it is really strengthening me to understand somebody has to be the point in reference of change, and it can be you. You can be the woman that another woman trusts to tell her deepest, darkest secrets of molestation and rape and abortion and miscarriage and failed relationship and failed marriage and all different types of things. But it all comes through a decision. So today I wanted to get on because notice I deal with women. My main assaults and heartbreaks came from women, one of them being my mother. Do I still love her? Absolutely. Do I pray for her? Absolutely. At the time, we are estranged from one another because I am growing. I am growing. And so, in this women's group, it is my mission and my hope and my prayer that we as women can grow. No, you're not going to trust everybody. You're not going to tell everybody your business. That's probably my mandate, to put myself out there and tell all my business. And I'm perfectly fine with that. But I just wanted to get on here and just talk about this exploitation of women doing it to other women, because I think it's something that we don't talk about because there is a view of how women should be. But my question is, are we doing what we should? Are we loving on each other? Are we speaking life to each other? Are we calling each other beautiful? Are we sitting in the gap and praying for one another? You know, if not, today I will be one of them. I will be one of them to hold myself accountable to do my sister that I don't even know that might be a stranger better than people that personally know her has done. And so I'm grateful to come on today. It's so funny how literally I broke my phone just a couple minutes before doing this broadcast. But I'm just going to take that as a sign that it's a good thing that I'm doing it and that nothing stopped it. So, I love you ladies very much. I pray that this group is serving some point of health for you, that you are getting some type of comfort, that you are getting something from the group. I don't care about responses, posts, likes. Sometimes the stuff I post is so real, people can't like it because it shows that they like it. And, some people are not ready to live that level of transparency just yet, which is fine. Everybody has their own moments of growth and change and transformation. But as for me, I choose to be free. I choose to tell the truth. I choose to be authentic, no matter who it offends, because the truth does offend people, unfortunately. But if it's going to help another woman to heal, I'm all for it. So, with that being said, I thank you to the women that tuned into the broadcast. It is going to be available for replay. Sorry, my face is a little itchy, but it will be available for replay. If you are one that has experienced trauma with your mother, I pray for you. If you are one that has experienced trauma with another woman, I pray for you. But I also pray that you would forgive, but I also pray that you would find the strength in your heart to do what's best by you to get the healing that you need, because it is a horrible feeling to be hurt and remain hurt for the rest of your life. So, thank you to all the women that tuned in. It has been so much fun getting back in the group and posting, but now and you understand the reason and a lot of the tragedy that happened to me while I was homeless. Love you too, Brianna. Why I was homeless and why I went through it for so long and why it was that when I was in these houses, everybody took it upon themselves to exploit me because they didn't think that I had family or people that cared about me. But they forgot that God cares about the downtrodden. He cares about the homeless, the widow, the poor, and the oppressed. And unfortunately, I think I had actually 3 out of 4 of those categories. And he lifted me up. I mean, the Lord has helped me so much. He has helped me understand women. in a different capacity. So I have so much compassion for women, but it has to stop. Somewhere it has to stop. Somewhere we have to really start helping each other. I watched the interview with Meghan Markle the other week, and they were asking her, was she okay? And that lady looked like she was about to break in tears because she didn't seem like she was okay. And I did that today. When I was sitting where I was, working, I cried because I said, man, it's so hard to be a strong woman sometimes because you have the people that are strong and then you have the ones that are really broken trying to break them. And so I want to tell you, it is okay to cry. You're human. It is okay to be frustrated because sometimes I am. Don't think just because I have this platform and I do these events that is easy. I get a lot of backlash from women, especially sometimes older women, because they don't think I'm qualified to do what God has called me to do. But thank God they don't have the final decision or final say. So, for anybody that has just been treated bad, talked about, lied on, falsely accused, demeaned, degraded, my heart goes out to you. And just understand and know, as long as it's not true, it's not up to you to care. It's not up to you to care. I heard a pastor say, it's not for us to care or really think about what other people say about us. You have to make up in your heart and mind that you're just going to keep going and treading in your journey and making those monumental steps that you need to ascend, elevate, and do better, because somebody is waiting for you to get over and through those weights that people that despise you are trying to throw and put on you. So, ladies, I'm going to repost this for the replay. It was so freeing to get on here and tell this truth. Um, I did a quick photo yesterday because I got my eyebrows done. I did some micro shading, and it was Breonna Taylor. She's actually on the video. She was so sweet and so nice, and her service was really wonderful. And so I'm really promoting her brand and her business. If you scroll through, you're going to see her name in a flyer that she actually put in the group. And I'm actually recording the journey because the eyebrows are going to shed, and then they're going to heal, and then you'll be able to finally see my color pigmentation that she actually enhanced through micro shading. So if you are interested, she has really good prices. She's very professional. She's very sweet. So check her out. I'll put her information in the description box. Also, if you have a business and you would like me to broadcast your business or shout your business out, just send me a DM. I'm not a hater. Nobody can take what God has for me. So I don't have a problem with shouting other people out and making sure that your business is highlighted in the group. But I love you, ladies. And if you've ever been hurt by another woman, please make sure that you are not doing to another woman what has been done to you. It is very hurtful. It is a silent pain that a lot of us experience. Hold on 1 second. My camera got stuck. Okay, there it is. Sorry, my camera got stuck. But I love you all so much. This group is not for me. Like I always say, I can keep my business. You're welcome, Brianna. I can keep my business to myself, but it is very therapeutic for me to get on here and discuss the things that I'm going through in my life, because it motivates me to keep going, because I have an audience that is watching me. Therefore, the show will not stop. The marathon must go on. So I'm going to be doing more lives. As I stated, you can reach me at Instagram at _ Patricia Tomlinson. I have my profile, my regular one. Then I have this channel, I Am Woman. I also have a YouTube. And ladies, there are some more surprises that I am working on. I've been doing some public speaking events. I've been having one every month. If you're interested in coming, you can definitely DM me. I don't really put them in a group because everybody lives pretty far away. But if you're interested in coming, I have no problem with posting the information to the group. So I love you ladies so much. I'm probably going to do a book club sometime soon. That requires a lot of prayer, because it will require a lot of attention to do the book club, because we'll have sessions and chats and discussions and conversation about the material that we are reading. However, I love you ladies so much. You are wonderful. You are great. You are significant. You are important. Don't let anybody tell you any different. You do matter. Your voice matters. Your tragedy matters, and it matters because you're going to turn it into triumph and use it to advance someone else's life. So I love you so much, ladies. Stay tuned. I'm going to be doing more broadcasts as there are some secret things that I'm working on behind the scenes. But I love you so much. So I'm going to stay on for a couple more minutes. If you want to ask questions, you're more than welcome to. If not, you're free to be dismissed. I didn't see that heart. It just kind of floated up and floated away. But whoever that was, I love you too. So thank you to everybody that came on. I appreciate you so much. If you know another woman that has been exploited by the hands of another woman, share this broadcast with her because it is all about healing. It is all about healing. It's all about being honest. And that is what this platform is for. So I love you, ladies. I pray that you sleep peacefully. I'm going to stay on for a few more minutes. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat or the comment section. And if not, I really hope and pray